With David Raya banned from playing against his parent club, this weekend could be the last game we ever see of Aaron Ramsdale in an Arsenal shirt. But let's reflect on the last few months, and does Aaron Ramsdale deserve this treatment and deserve to be pushed out of the club? Let's look into it. Now, I'm someone that has made multiple videos saying that David Raya was better than Aaron Ramsdale way before anyone actually thought it. Now it's become clear that people are actually very worried that Aaron Ramsdale is playing this weekend, which I think is funny with how much I got hate specifically for just saying that David Raya would help the team a lot more. But that doesn't mean I necessarily don't think Aaron Ramsdale is a very good goalkeeper, and it's not a shame that he has been pushed out of the team, because I still think it is, and I understand football is a ruthless business, especially at the top, and Mikel Arteta has said multiple times he's going to do ruthless decisions. But Aaron Ramsdale did help us a lot, and a lot of people didn't believe in him either, so he did have to prove to everyone that he could play at this level, and it took a long time to gain that trust with the fan. And I do believe that he would go to many clubs and just be excellent in the Premier League especially. I think he's really good at passing out very far away, and often very good shot stopper as well. Now, there's definitely issues with his short passing and his long passing, but I think at a level that isn't necessarily Arsenal trying to win the league, it won't make a big difference for a team a little bit lower. I also think ultimately the real reason he's not really playing for Arsenal is not because of his shot stopping or some of his passing. I think it's just for the fact he can't really claim crosses as well. And for a lot of teams, this necessarily wouldn't be a big issue, but for Arsenal, I think we want that quick dispossession of the ball in the air and the quick pass off, and this is why Raya is one of the best in Europe at doing this, and this is why I think ultimately he is in the squad. But enough about David Raya. Aaron Ramsdale was a great player for the club, and he really did a lot. I don't know how much money we're necessarily going to get off him. I think it should be at least a profit, because he is still a young goalkeeper, and he should still be England's #1 in my opinion over Pickford. But he's a real good player, and it's not even just about that. He's clearly a really good person as well. He gets along with the fans, he clearly gets along with all the players, and he has a great atmosphere and a brilliant personality to get around with any team. And Aaron Ramsdale, no matter what, deserves so much respect and love, hopefully this weekend. I really hope he has a brilliant game. On potentially his last game, probably will be his last game for Arsenal, because I can't see him playing anymore if Raya is fit. And he's a player that deserves a lot of respect no matter where he goes. Even if he goes to a rival of Arsenal, I think it's not really his fault, and you can understand why he would go to a team like Chelsea over a team a little bit lower down potentially. I'd rather see him at a bigger club, and I think he still has a lot of potential to be, not even just for a club level. He needs to be playing for consistently to get into that England team and be the #1 goalkeeper, which we know he can be. And he's gone on many levels since we signed him. I think he's one of the first true signings which proved everyone wrong from the Mikel Arteta reign. A player that no one really believed in, everyone did understand why we were buying, but proved you don't need to have a great career, you don't need to be playing at the highest level, you don't even need to be very consistent. If you have the attributes that Mikel Arteta likes, and he likes you as a player, he believes he will make you a lot better. We've seen the same with people like Kai Havertz later on. And Aaron Ramsdale has performed the 2 times that he's played Brentford this season already, so I have no doubt that he'll turn up again when we need him to. And realistically, if Arsenal give up the shots they have been giving up, he probably won't have a lot to do anyway. But it'd be very interesting to see if he is quicker on the ball and if his passing has improved in different levels. Because even in the FA Cup game against Liverpool, I thought we saw a good passing level of the player, and it weren't really his fault he went out, which is a big shame for him really, because the 2 cups we kind of let ourselves down a little bit, and that was the 2 tournaments that he was realistically actually going to get some game time in, so it's not been very nice, and he's not really going to get as much as game time as he probably would have wanted as well. There's no doubt about it, Arsenal would not be in the position they are if it weren't for Ramsdale. There's so many games I can think of where he really just carried our team through it, and he did some brilliant saves. I mean, I think about that Liverpool game, he was insane, did some really great saves, and the game against a few years ago against Leicester where he did that unbelievable save from that James Maddison free kick. He really showed us a better level than people unfortunately like Leno, who I was a big fan of. I liked Leno at the time, but his passing was nowhere near Aaron Ramsdale's level, proving that you can buy different levels of the game that can easily be that good. Of course he has made mistakes, and everyone's going to point out every mistake he makes, Raya makes, everyone makes in our defence. That is the way it is being an Arsenal supporter, that is the way it is supporting a team very high up. Everything matters so much more than usual, and every single little thing that you do will get scrutinised, even things you say in the press which get taken out of context. But if this is the end of Aaron Ramsdale at Arsenal, I'm glad he came here and he definitely elevated the team. and I'm really hoping that the Emirates crowd give him nothing but love from the final whistle, and more importantly, I hope he has a really good game and Arsenal obviously get a big win. But I do find the reception really weird on social media. Everyone was loving Ramsdale a few months ago and wanted him in the team, and now people are worried that he's coming in. I am not worried. I think he's a brilliant goalkeeper. He's got a brilliant chance, and people are even saying that Hines should start over him, which I do not agree with. He was a fan favourite. He was loved by the fans. He did brilliant, and there's nothing that he's done wrong necessarily to put him in a not a perspective in that way. It's just that Arteta didn't really want to play him and wanted to play a different player, and brought in the player to accommodate that, being Raya. And it's not like Raya has come in out of nowhere and was surprised that he wanted him over Ramsdale, because he originally wanted Raya in 2020 before we even bought Ramsdale, but Ramsdale was the cheaper option and we couldn't justify spending a lot of money on a goalkeeper like Raya. But when the deal came up and eventually could get it through, he made it happen, and unfortunately for Ramsdale that means that he's no longer wanted at the club. But without him coming in the first place, he never would have even getting game time and never would have played for a big team like Arsenal helping us. But let's not forget, he was getting relegated every season before he joined us, so he also needed us as much as we needed him. But I'm not here to argue if Raya should be in goal than Ramsdale, because it should be clear by now, but I also don't think this is the time. This is about Ramsdale. This game is about Ramsdale in a sense. It is his last hurrah, his last go at the team. Now, if Arsenal get into a position where they're playing games at the end of the season which don't matter, then you'll probably see Ramsdale also come in. But I think with how things are going, you might consider that not happening. So Raya, you would think, would play for the rest of the season. And hopefully Ramsdale can have a good game for him, and hopefully gets a good reception, because there's a lot of hate online, and I still think Ramsdale's a brilliant person, a brilliant goalkeeper, and I'm very happy that he played for Arsenal as well. I'm glad he got his Champions League game. At least he got one of them, despite obviously not getting more, because ultimately he is one of the reasons we got there. I know people say that we have signed another goalkeeper that would have helped, and we might have, but we never know, because that never happened. What we do know is Aaron Ramsdale joined the club when no one believed in him. He played his best. He was a great citizen, great player. Everyone loved him, and ultimately he helped Arsenal no matter what. And even when he got replaced, you can tell he's a bit upset in interviews and a bit of press conferences, but he never lets that get the best of him. He understands why Arsenal have done it and understands that it's time to move on. It's very rare in times of football where you really get to say goodbye to a player that has meant a lot to you and a lot to the team. Usually you don't even know they're going to leave, and in the summer they just go. And sometimes when you get to the end of the season, they'll come on, maybe have an appearance, and you understand. But with goalkeepers that doesn't happen. They usually just get dropped and that is it. So this is a great moment for Aaron Ramsdale and us, that we can actually take a time to say goodbye to him. And thank you to everything that he has done for the club, because he is a brilliant player, and just he's so young. I still expect him to be really good and really go very far in his career. I expect him to be England's #1. Probably not by this Euros, because you know Gareth Southgate is going to make excuses, but when a new England manager comes in who actually makes good decisions, I expect him to actually be playing consistently, and I'm really happy, and I could be cheering on for England. So let's take this moment for Aaron Ramsdale. In the comments, let me know what your favourite part about Aaron Ramsdale is. What was your favourite moment for him in an Arsenal shirt? And let me know what you think overall about Ramsdale as a player and a person. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate the view today. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you want to watch any more of my content, I recommend watching the video yesterday I did about a potential Arsenal target being Victor Gyökeres from Sporting. Thank you guys for watching.